identity forever. And fair enough. And sometimes that's even admirable if it's done in a sophisticated way. And it's charismatic. So you see it in Mick Jagger, you see it in David Bowie, you see it, and you see it in people like Madonna as well, because Madonna had a hard edge, you know, that was very masculine. And all the Marvel superhero women have a hard masculine edge. And so we find that charismatic because those people are also integrated. But the notion that there's such a thing as gender, that's not right. There's variability in personality and temperament. And the idea that, that there's no such thing as biological sex, that's just insane.
It's insanity. They've abstracted gender from sex and then read gender back into sex as more important than sex. It's
well, and then why insist upon the biological modifications?
Right.
If there's no such thing as sex, it's like, well, then just act out your role.
Right.
Leave your body alone because it's irrelevant anyways. Well, it turns out it's not irrelevant. You have to go through the surgical transformation, which is a pretty dramatic answer to a question that for 99% of people who are ambivalent about their gender identity would be best solved without surgical intervention.
Yep.
And then so now in Canada, because they banned conversion therapy, it's now all affirmation therapy.
Right,
There's no such thing as affirmation therapy.
Right, no, it's insane. I mean, the semantic game that was used in order to say, well, conversion therapy, which was at one time using electric shock to treat homosexuals, and saying that that's the same thing as you have a gender-confused 12-year-old.
Look, I had a 14-year-old kid who was a client of mine, and he was in the mid stages of puberty. He was a pretty creative kid, agreeable kid as well, right? And that's important. So he had a bit of a feminine temperament. That also meant he could be pushed around fairly easily. Well, there was an aggressively gay guy in his school was hitting on him and trying to convince him that he was gay. Well, he didn't know. So he wanted to talk to me about it. It's like, well, I was going to tell him. What the hell do I know about this kid?
Exactly.
You know, and I wanted to hear what his problems were and how it might be sorted out, what he wanted. And like that's what you do in therapy, is you help people sort out their problems. Now this idea is you come to me with an axiomatic claim, whatever it is about your identity, and my job is to rubber stamp it. It's like, I'm not a therapist then. So this is not only insane, this insistence. Like I like to think of truth, untruth, and anti-truth, right? And the notion that therapists affirm is an anti-truth because look, let's say you come to me and you say, you have a proposition about yourself, and I say, no, I'm your therapist. No, that's wrong. It's like, that's not good therapy. But neither is you have a proposition about yourself, and you're disturbed enough to come to a therapeutic session, and I say, yes, you're right. It's like, I don't know if you're right. And if you're so right, why are you here? Like, what are we talking about if you're already right?
It's a destruction of basically the only form of therapy that we know to work.
Yes,
cognitive behavioral therapy. It's all about saying that
so are the rest of them. They're all this is one of the things that's interesting about clinical psychology. Every single school of psychotherapy is predicated on the idea that free expression of thought or the free transmutation of behavior is curative. And it's true with cognitive behavioral therapy, just like psychoanalytic therapy. It's all the same thing. And also the other axiom of therapy is voluntarily expose yourself in measured doses to what you're afraid of. And so that's an interesting thing because the psychoanalysts believed when the behaviorists first came up with exposure therapy, they had it formulated wrong. They thought you learn to be afraid. So you're normal, and then something hurts you, and then you learn to be afraid of it. That's wrong. You're always afraid, except when you learn not to. So they had it exactly backwards neuropharmacologically, and it really matters.
Let's roll.
This matters.
Let's go. Rip into it. Come on, let's go. Fire in the hole. Time to move, knuckleheads. Cover me while I plant.
Bomb has been planted. Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Go, go, go!
I'm planting the bomb. Bomb has been planted. Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win. This is easy. We kill them, and then we go home. Planted. Bomb has been planted. I'm throwing a flashbang. Throwing a flashbang! Terrorists win. Fear us. Go, go, go!
Grenade.
planted.
Counter-terrorists win.
We must move. Activating the
Bomb has been planted. Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Allez, allez mes amis.
gear up. We aren't going on a windy walk here.
Terrorists win.
Copy that. Move out.
Counter-terrorists win.
Let's go.
Counter-terrorists win.
Right on. Move it, son. Throwing a grenade.
Counter-terrorists win.
Now we're really laying into them.
Kill them all.
Come on, chop chop.
Terrorists win.
This is why, I mean, it's funny because I think that, you know, the issue that you started to become really politically prominent on, which is the Bill C-16 in Ontario and
Canada, it was federal law.
In Canada, the gender issue.
Yeah.
You know,
Thinking. So
That's exactly right.
It's certainly the case that 1 out of 10 women, now it depends on where you put the cutoff, say, but you could say with reasonable certainty that 1 in 10 women has a masculine temperament and 1 in 10 men has a feminine temperament. And so that's a lot of people. And those people, especially if they're also creative, well, they're kind of at a loss in relationship to what to do with their identity, because they're pulled. First of all, they have a hard time catalyzing their identity. Creative people have a hard time catalyzing it. It's like the definition of creativity. They're protean. And so there have been people who play at the edges of gender identity forever. And fair enough. And sometimes that's even admirable if it's done in a sophisticated way. And it's charismatic. So you see it in Mick Jagger, you see it in David Bowie, you see it, and you see it in people like Madonna as well, because Madonna had a hard edge, you know, that was very masculine. And all the Marvel superhero women have a hard masculine edge. And so we find that charismatic because those people are also integrated. But the notion that there's such a thing as gender, that's not right. There's variability in personality and temperament. And the idea that that there's no such thing as biological sex, that's just insane.
It's insanity. They've abstracted gender from sex and then read gender back into sex as more important than sex. It's
well, and then why insist upon the biological modifications?
Right.
If there's no such thing as sex, it's like, well, what? Then just act out your role.
Right.
Leave your body alone because it's irrelevant anyways. Well, it turns out it's not irrelevant. You have to go through the surgical transformation, which is a pretty dramatic answer to a question that for 99% of people who are ambivalent about their gender identity would be best solved without surgical intervention.
Yep.
And then this, so now
Let's roll.
in Canada, because they
Get ready. This is a free fire zone. Let's go have some fun. Deploying decoy.
Counter-terrorists win.
I am fired up. Push, push, push. Laying down smoke.
Counter-terrorists win.
Got this. Let's go, fellas. It's in the area. Flashbang.
Single.
Counter-terrorists win.
Yes, champion. Let's roll. Throwing fire. Grenade out.
Terrorists win. Bomb has been planted.
Let's move out.
Terrorists win. Bomb has been planted.
I want to make it challenging, you know?
Time to
What do you think?
Incendiary. Smoke. Grenade
You are
out.
saying I am new.
Counter-terrorists win.
Booyah.
Good. No, I buy you every time you throw it. I will kill you next time.
Let's go.
I spend money on you and
Terrorists win.
I will kill you now.
We are out of here. Laying down smoke.
Bomb has been planted.
Defusing the bomb.
Bro, can you go single door? I will flash for you. Come out and kill them, okay?
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Right on.
Go to single door. You know where it is, or I call you Uber. Go, my baby.
Some memories, boys and girls. Fire in the hole. Throwing flashbang. Flashbang. Throwing smoke.
Counter-terrorists win.
Let's go, my brothers.
What?
I'm planted.
Terrorists win.
You will cry like babies before you die.
I'm sexy and know it. What's your nickname mean?
It is time now, my brothers.
My beautiful baby.
Flashbang out.
Terrorists win.
Wow.
Run, little girls, run.
Wow. How they don't kill me. Wow.
Move it, move it. Grenade. Flashbang out. Smoke. Deploying smoke shield. Throwing flashbang. Activating the bomb.
Bomb has been planted.
One low. Kick you if you don't get it.
Terrorists win.
We will stop your little scout.
Good boy. Rawr, 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 rawr. Rawr, rawr.
Grenade out. Flashbang. Throwing bomb. Planted.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Now is the time.
Terrorists win.
Yes. It is over.
this is why.
You have to learn how not to be. And you don't learn that by habituation, because that was the idea. So you take someone who's afraid, they've been conditioned to be afraid, you expose them to what they're afraid of, and then you have them do relaxation exercises so they counter condition. Well, then it was discovered, and they don't have to do the relaxation exercises. It's like, oh, well, it still works, just exposure. It's like, well, they get less afraid.
Jordan Peterson, welcome to Australia. Now tell me, what are your impressions of the country post-pandemic?
Well, it's open again, so that's nice. I like coming here. I'm very gratified that I've been received positively. I had a huge crowd in Brisbane, 10,000 people, and there's a bigger show coming up in Sydney. I think there's 13,000 there. So those are the biggest audiences that have attended my shows, single shows, and so that's very interesting to see. Nothing really on the protest front. I saw a bit of buzz online before I came here that there were people on the more radical left side that were going to show me just exactly how unwelcome I was here, but so far, unsurprisingly, they haven't managed to organize themselves. Right. So the last time I was here too, it's a very impressive country. And today I'm here in Canberra speaking with parliamentarians, and that was quite surprising to me that I was invited and that there were a large number of people in attendance. That's a surprising and I would say at least somewhat courageous act. It's not clear to me at all that that would happen in Canada, for example.
And do you find conservative politicians, including ours, are crying out for some direction in how to communicate the message and how to stop apologising and
absolutely. Yeah, well, conservatives are pretty good at implementing. That's their strength, even on the temperamental side. But on the vision front, they're not that good. And that's partly what even makes them conservative, because if you're a conservative, you don't need a vision in some sense, because what you tend to do is walk the tried and true path. And in some sense, that's a replacement for a vision, or it's a traditional vision. And the disadvantage you have, I would say, on that front is that when people push you in relationship to your traditional vision, you may not be able to articulate it well. So someone might object to someone who's conservative. It's like, well, defend marriage. It's like, well, people think, well, I thought we already agreed on that. I don't know how to defend that. It's an institution that's been around for all intents and purposes forever. It's part of the general consensus of value. Even to articulate it to that degree is rare. And so conservatives are often taken aback, especially when those questions are also accompanied by a moral accusation. Like, well, you know, it's nothing but a patriarchal institution. And it's also easy to make conservatives feel guilty because they're conscientious. And so if you tell a conservative, you're not doing your duty, they think, oh, well, I'm not. I'm trying to do my duty.
But is that a losing strategy? Is that why the left's march through the institutions has been so successful? Because conservatives haven't had that boldness and belief in their value system?
Well, I think it's also because the challenge is actually quite realistically corrosive. So we could start with the observation that all human social institutions, whether they're micro, marriage say, or macro, political or economic, are corrupted by the corruption of power. So when someone drives the assault against an institution forward on the basis of the claim that it's nothing but power, it's difficult to differentiate that because you're guilt prone as a conservative, you'll think, well, yeah, these institutions are corrupted by power to some degree. Well, then that's the rub. It's like, well, yeah, to some degree. To say that our institutions are corrupted by the temptation of power is a very different claim than that those institutions are founded on nothing but the will to power. And that's the fundamental radical, what would you say, leftist claim. And that's not an easy claim to defend against, because I might say, like, I could confront you with this. I could say, well, what's the opposite of the will to power? And you think, well, I don't know. So, well, that's a problem, and it is a problem. It's a very difficult technical problem. I think, by the way, just for the sake of continuing the argument, that it's the spirit of voluntary play that's the antithesis of the spirit of power. And I think that functional human relationships that are self-sustaining and productive and generous, reciprocal, are when they're optimized based on the spirit of play. And that's the opposite of the spirit of tyranny as well. But it took me like 30 years to be able to figure out how to articulate that. And so if you're pushed back into a corner with your rather inarticulate but deeply embodied conservative beliefs, it's not evident at all that you have either the ability or the temperament to transform that traditional belief into a compelling, forward-looking vision. So that's very hard on conservatives, and I have been struck by the degree to which the vision on the centrist front is neither compelling nor coherent. It's not, especially in the face of this tremendously pointed accusatory assault. It's all about power. And the only reason you don't see that is because of your privilege. It's like, well, you have privilege. I mean, you're in a good position. Do you not have privilege? Well, what do you mean privilege exactly? Did you earn it? Well, can you even earn privilege? Is there such a thing as earning it? Well, these are all questions that have been thrown up by people who are subsidized to do nothing but cause trouble as a consequence of their envy.
But how does that contrast with, say, a belief system that's centered on political correctness? Because that's quite easy to articulate and understand, those sort of belief systems.
Well, it's also an effective call to a very base motivation. So if you put forward the proposition that it's all about power, then, and that those who have more power have it because they have essentially stolen it, well, then all sorts of things are now open up for you. It's like, well, anyone who has more than you of anything is a thief. That's quite the proposition. It's very convenient for you. You're justified in stealing it back. In fact, you might be morally obligated to do so. You have a convenient place to put the problem of evil, and it's certainly not within you. It allows you to act on your envy. And boy, you want to be careful of adopting a belief system that allows you to act on your envy, because envy is a very, very, very corrosive motivational force. You know, and if no one can have anything more than anyone else, no one can have anything at all, because everything is never going to be absolutely equitably distributed.
And yet, so much of what we see now is trying to manufacture equity. It's not about equality, it's about having equitable outcomes. And that seems to be something that's illogical, but yet it's an ideal that's held up.
It's attractive too, in some sense, right? Because if you're, and it's attractive in an instinctive way, in some sense. If you're walking down the street and you see someone who's homeless, it's going to produce a stirring of conscience, right? At least you feel, well, that's unfortunate. You might think there, but for the grace of God. You're going to think, wouldn't it be better if society was constituted so that such things did not occur? You might think that person has been victimized and oppressed, and it certainly might be the case in their particular case. And so that sets you up with a moral conundrum. And if you're given an easy explanation for that also appeals to your base motives, then you're very likely to jump at it and maybe even to apply it to yourself. And so it's easy to make that viewpoint attractive, and it takes education to make that viewpoint not attractive. So, I mean, I think that almost all societies that have become successful have done so by educating themselves in some real sense out of an instinctive false compassion and envy. And because those are there at hand, they always have to be, what would you say? They always have to be pushed back against. They always have to be differentiated. So what's the difference between wealth and theft? Well, someone might not come up with that idea on their own, but once it's presented to them, especially to a young person, especially given that the system is not fair in the ultimate sense, it presents a very difficult conundrum. Especially also because some people do have more than others because they're psychopathic and manipulative, Machiavellian, and they don't play fair. So for me, the miracle is that there are any societies at all where that isn't the case all the time, where the tyrants just aren't victorious. And one of the things I really like about the ethos of the West is that I think the central ethos of the West is precisely the spirit that moves effectively against tyranny, is not the cause of tyranny. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't tyrannical elements of the West, because of course there are. But what I'm very afraid of on the radical front is that to the degree that the radicals even want what they want, they're pursuing it in a manner that's so counterproductive that if they were victorious, it would destroy the very thing they purport to support.
Oh, absolutely. Well, your good friend Douglas Murray has written about this war on the West. How do we prevail in the age of unreason?
The only way to prevail is to tell a better story, right? And you need a better story than the Marxist story. And I think the story of meaning through responsibility is a better story. And it's a core, you might think about it as, it's certainly the core Christian story, meaning through responsibility. I mean, I suppose responsibility extended to the ultimate degree is something like voluntary self-sacrifice to the highest good. It's something like that. Because to take responsibility means to forego immediate gratification in the service of something longer term and higher, right? It literally means it's a sacrificial gesture to take responsibility, and the ultimate sacrifice is the sacrifice of the self to the highest good, and that's exemplified by the image of the crucifixion. It's exemplified by the Passion story, and that's the central sacrifice upon which our cultures are founded. It's even literally the case. I was in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem recently with Jonathan Pajot, and that was the first Christian church, and it's hypothetically founded on the very spot where Christ was crucified. And so the church marks the point of optimal sacrifice. And so then the church becomes the center of the community. So the center of the church is the point of self-sacrifice. The church is the center of the community. That's what happened in Jerusalem when it was refounded by the Emperor Constantine's mother. And then that became the literal model for the establishment of towns and cities throughout Europe. This is literally how the culture was founded. And that divine sacrifice is the voluntary adoption of ultimate responsibility. And that's the correct story. And so, and we don't know that. We don't know that that's the central story, not consciously. We're struggling towards making that conscious. And for this, I believe that for the culture to be set back up on its foundations, we're going to have to return to the origins and know the place for the first time, in T.S. Eliot's words.
Now, you have an enormous impact with young men, and I speak to mothers of young men, and so many of them, whatever their political persuasion, are really concerned about the crisis amongst boys, the anti-male sentiment that we hear so much about in popular.
Hello.
Joe.
What's going on, man?
Man.
Good to see you.
Thanks. I feel a little overdressed. Sorry about this.
You look good. Oh, look at that.
A little bit of Starry Night there.
Yeah, you're really into that, huh?
Oh, yeah, I got.
That's what's on your phone.
So you remembered, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's on the phone. Starry Night. You know what I like about Starry Night? It's not what Van Gogh saw that night. It's what he felt.
How do you know what he felt?
Because this is not a representation of reality.
Oh, okay.
And anything that deviates from reality is reality that has filtered through your senses. And I think art at its highest is exactly that. If this was an exact depiction of reality, it would be a photograph, and I don't need the artist.
Okay.
So even photographs that take you to a slightly other kind of dimension as you gaze upon them, it's more than what was actually going on at the time. And that's art taken to the craft of photography.
That's why you like it?
That's one of the reasons why. Plus, I think it was the very first painting where its title is the background. Think about that. This could have been called, in the full painting, obviously this is a snippet.
Town.
Yeah. So there's a town there, there's a cypress tree, there's a church steeple. It could have been called Cypress Tree. It could have been called Sleepy Village. It could have been called Rolling Hills. But no, it's called Starry Night. And everything in front of it, is just in the way. And how often do you paint something where the title is the background? That's my point. And in this particular case, the background is the universe. And so for me, this was a pivot point in art. And it's 1889, which is recent given the history of paintings and, that go all the way back. So yeah, there it is.
Is that your favorite painting ever?
I have to say yes.
It has to be. You have a vest and a phone cover. If it's not, what are you doing?
And I have 4 or 5 ties that have this painting on them in different ways. Yeah, so I'm all in. I'm all in.
What's interesting is that the town is...
Wait, have you seen Starry Night in Bacon? Somebody did. Dig it up on the screen. Somebody did it in Bacon. It was just crazy.
Oh, God, how weird.
Yeah,
That's weird.
Yeah.
How weird. Go back to the original one, please. What's interesting about the original one is that the town is realistically depicted. The trees are recognizable as trees. If you ever saw a sky that looked like that, the end would be here.
Yeah, exactly.
Those
Plus,
are
that
end
swirling
times.
is not wind and it's not clouds, because if it was clouds, you wouldn't see the stars.
Right. What is it?
It's how he felt. That's all I can tell you. By the way, that is a real evening. So it's not even the evening, it's early morning. The crescent moon, when it's that orientation, means this is before sunrise. And that white object lower on the horizon, that's sort of glowy, that's very likely Venus. And that enables us to trace over what set of weeks this painting was actually painted. So it's kind of like forensic astronomy.
Has anyone done an analysis of like where he must have been?
Yeah, it's well known. Yeah, he was in a real place.
And so that
he
really
didn't pull this
would
out
be-
of his ass, right? I mean, it was he painted what he saw, folded into what he felt.
Ooh,
yeah,
heavy.
That's how art should be, I think.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what do you need artists for?
Make cool shit.
The cool stuff is something that they felt and it came out of them.
Yeah.
And they feel stuff. Artists feel the natural world in ways different from the rest of us. And that's why they're artists.
Do they, or do they just express it with?
Oh, sorry. Yes, they not only
skill?
we all can feel it, but to be able to express it, that's a whole other talent.
Right, just to capture.
And you know what I think about often? Why do we all know who Paul Revere is? All right, we it's a household name. Yet, is there any other war ever fought in the history of the world where a household name is the name of the person who told other people the enemy was coming?
Let's show them who we are. Move it, son.
Grenade out.
Long pushing.
Deploying decoy.
Counter-terrorists win.
Go, go, go. Decoys out.
Last 2 mid door. One more.
Deploying flashbang.
Counter-terrorists win.
Right on. Let's go. Smoke.
Throwing fire. Calling fire. Fire in the hole. Grenade out. Flashbang out. Throwing flashbang.
Grenade out.
Multiple short. Short team, huh? Short.
Throwing flashbang.
Counter-terrorists win.
Now we're really laying into them.
Left click player, my friend, my brother. Bro, Balu. Kisa ठीक है सब ठीक है. अब को नारले पुगले अंडर.
Throwing fire.
हाँ ठीक है bro, ठीक है.
Deploying flashbang. Throwing a grenade. Flashbang.
Yeah, one more Tibet.
Fire in the hole.
Deploying flashbang.
Counter-terrorists win.
Oh, it's a piece of cake, so it is.
AK behind you.
Let's have at it, mates. Decoy. Laying down smoke.
Fire in the hole. Flashbang out. Throwing incendiary.
Throwing flashbang.
Deploying smoke shield.
Blue, go, 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 go. Meant to be, meant to be, meant to be.
Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win.
Let's move. Calling incendiary.
Laying down smoke.
Incendiary up.
Grenade out. Throwing flashbang. Incendiary. Grenade out.
Smoking.
Deploying flashbang. Throwing flashbang.
Flashbang out.
Bomb has been planted.
Throwing fire.
Terrorists win.
Come on, chop, chop. Smoke.
Grenade. Flashbang.
Xbox low. 2 mid. He's low. Close short low, huh? Both I think low. You have kit, take.
Bomb has been planted.
Flashbang.
Easy bro, you're wrong.
Terrorists win.
Let's go. Deploying decoy.
Carroty, 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 carroty.
Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win.
Bad guys.
Short smoke, short smoke.
Bomb has been planted.
Flashbang.
Fire.
Terrorists win.
Fear has no hold over us. Throwing flashbang. Decoy.
Incendiary out.
Throwing
Deploying flashbang. Throwing a grenade.
Blue! Why you don't give info? You have Mike, use it, my friend. He kill me, I don't know he already enter site. Alright, shoot ya.
CT.
Terrorists win.
Let's go.
You are drunk, Blue? If you are drunk, it's okay. Don't give info. No problem.
We will make them regret this day. Decoy. Flashbang.
flashbang out.
Throwing a grenade.
Grenade out. Throwing smoke.
Throw the decoy.
You have money, Blue. You have money. Go, push Blue.
Terrorists win.
I mean, that was excellent.
This is what we have been
working for us.
Grenade.
Terrorists win.
We are the best.
Oh man, okay, I have been waiting for this moment all my life.
I'm throwing a grenade. Flashback.
واحد is that one.
I'm throwing fire. Throwing a flashback. Flashback. I'm planted.
Bomb has been planted.
Blue. I smoke for you. Come. Come, blue. Come, I throw you smoke. Give me your smoke. Thank you, bro.
I'm throwing a flashback.
Terrorists win.
Take care of yourself.
Bang!
Decoy flashback.
Grenade.
I'm throwing a grenade. Smoke.
Down some fire.
Blow them. Let's set this place on fire.
Right, just to capture.
And you know what I think about often?
Even drill again.
Right. So that works because frozen water is less dense than non-frozen water, and it's one of the rare ingredients for which that's so. And it's likely there would be no life on land or anywhere on Earth if that were the case, if the opposite of that were the case. So water is a very special ingredient to life on Earth. It's cited by many religious folks as saying, see, Earth is sacred for these. It's in the list of special ingredients for what make Earth habitable for life.
That is a really strange thing, though, that if you can contain it somehow in an incredibly strong pipe,
yes.
that it won't freeze.
Yes, it won't freeze.
What is a temperature variant, though? Like, is there a number?
Well, that's
where
why
it doesn't matter?
that's why pipes don't freeze when it just hits 30 degrees outside.
Right.
That's not when you hear it.
Right.
It freezes when it gets really low.
And
when
it crack.
And yeah, and then it'll break the copper like it's paper. It'll tear it like it's not. Now, on the flip side of that, try this at home. Take an ice cube that's like at 30 degrees, okay? How would you measure that? Pull out an ice cube, and just because they'll be at near 0 Fahrenheit if you have a good freezer, just pull it out and leave it on the counter. Put it on a wooden cutting board, okay? And just let it sit there for like 10 minutes, and its temperature will come up. There'll be a point where it hasn't melted yet, but you can take it and squeeze the ice cube, and you can force it to melt by squeezing it. Because you're forcing it into a smaller volume that it currently contains. And the only way you can accomplish that is if the ice turns to water. Then it will occupy a smaller volume. So the act of squeezing ice can actually melt it.
So if you had some sort of a pipe that could physically constrict, like something that had threads in it that could wind down to a smaller size, you could stick a cylinder of ice in it, and you could slowly crank it down.
Yes.
It would melt.
Yes, you can melt. If you had some machine that squeezed ice, and the colder the ice is, the harder the harder it would be for you to squeeze it to accomplish that. So it's sort of fun with ice. In fact, you know what else you can do? This is a harder experiment to do. If you take a mesh, like a screen mesh, it has to be sort of wider openings than a screen door would. So what would this be? Like a fence, like a chain link fence, and hold it horizontally and get a big block of ice. And just place it on top, a block of ice that's heavy. What'll happen is the weight of the ice will melt the ice in the contact points of the chain itself because it's feeling that pressure to squeeze it into a smaller volume. But by the time it melts, the ice has now passed through the grate and it will refreeze on the other side. So you can actually pass a block of ice through a chain link fence vertically, just by pushing it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a slow experiment, but it's real.
How long?
I mean, it depends on the temperature of the ice
and
how much it weighs.
Right.
Because the pressure is what's. This is why you can ice skate. Why can you skate on ice? Because the edge of the blade is very high pressure on the ice, and it's melting a bead of water. And you're actually gliding on water when you're skating. You're not skating on slippery ice.
Really?
Yes.
I thought you were just cutting the ice with the blade.
Well, so the blade, have you ever seen a sharpened blade? It's not just flat. There's actually a concave cross-section to it. So each edge, the left edge and the right edge, is basically a knife edge, okay? Not quite as sharp as a knife, but you can feel how it's sharp, so that when you lean on that edge, either your inner edge or outer edge, your entire body weight is being held up on a very narrow surface area of the blade. So the pressure is extreme. It's like, 1,000 pounds per square inch. You don't weigh 1,000 pounds, but you're not skating on a square inch, right? So you do the math on that, and what you can have is you will skate, and you're actually, what makes it so slippery on ice skates is because you're moving on a bead of water that freezes right behind you as you go past it.
Let's move out.
Yeah. So it's possible for ice to be so cold you can't really skate on it. Because even that pressure is not enough to melt it.
How cold would it have to be?
That last I did a calculation, was really cold, like tens of.
Go.
Hello. Yeah, I see that.
Go be orange.
Fire in the hole.
Long. One edge, low. Too low HP.
Let's push yellow.
Come back, come back, come back, come back.
Hide.
Three.
Long, last.
Counter-terrorists win.
Yeah.
Last game. Played against you.
I'm watching it, okay?
We are out of here. Decoy.
He's live, he's low.
Counter-terrorists win.
Yes.
I'll molly longer.
I am watching mid. Don't block me, yellow.
Move it. Throwing fire. Grenade. Grenade out. Deploying flashbang.
Flash me. Get mid.
Incendiary out. Flashbang. Throwing a grenade.
Counter-terrorists win.
There you go.
Yeah, I got more skills.
Let's go. Throwing smoke.
What chase out?
Throwing flashbang. Incendiary. Grenade out.
Counter-terrorists
Oh, it's
win.
a piece of cake, so it is. Come on, let's go. Unida.
Go B, guys. Someone go.
Smoke. Deploying flashbang.
One more.
Flashbang.
Cash shot, purple.
Throwing fire.
Throwing grenade. Incendiary.
Out of mid. One. Two top mid.
One more left.
One more.
Throwing a grenade.
City. This one.
Grenade out.
Counter-terrorists win.
Now you're right on.
Please don't smoke me.
Incendiary out.
Twelve. I stay, you can go orange.
Watch along, please. Watch along below. Three short. Anti.
Flashbang.
CT1 around. CT1.
Someone can drop me.
Let's go, fellas. Smoke.
Incendiary.
Throwing smoke.
Bomb.
Throwing fire. Grenade out. Deploying flashbang.
Orange, come low.
Smoke out. Grenade out.
Behind you one.
He's Thompson.
Throwing flashbang.
Watch long. Go fast. Your knife.
It's A, man. It's A, we told you, man.
Terrorists win.
He was minus 90. It was minus 60.
Let's move out. Throwing fire.
Incendiary out. Throwing grenade.
Watch long, guys. Guys, watch long. Watch long, blue or yellow, please.
Top me, top.
Grenade.
Top me.
He's long. He's going long, I think.
Close A long.
You don't have to like it, you just have to do it. But I gotta like it.
Laying down smoke. Grenade out. Grenade out.
Right. Yes. One is long.
Blue bin.
Deploying flashbang.
Watch short, orange, watch it, orange, watch short.
Campus. Orange.
Boost him.
One low now.
First.
Throwing fire.
Go.
I'm on C4.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
Oh yeah!
Let's make this Reyes rain.
Incendiary.
Incendiary out.
Fire in the hole.
Grenade out.
Grenade out.
Throwing fire. Flashbang.
This one.
Last long.
Laying down smoke.
He was long, one. Hide.
Relax, relax. Orange.
Counter-terrorists win.
Hey, running and shooting orange. Can I have one for? Cheetah.
Throwing fire.
Incendiary.
Throwing grenade.
Smoke B.
Flashbang out. Smoke.
Orange.
Grenade.
Stun. Can you flash?
Flashbang.
Hide here, hide with me, hello.
Go short yellow, please. Never mind. Blue.
Okay, okay.
Throwing smoke. Deploying flashbang.
One guy middle.
One guy long.
Watch long.
Orange.
Chain mid orange, please.
Throwing flashbang. Deploying flashbang.
Car, one car.
He's car. He's in car. One car.
Incendiary out.
One closet. One closet. Very good job, man.
We're getting stuck right into them. Who here is not ready? Move it.
Go, guys, go.
Ramp low. 10.
One short.
Hello.
Terrorists win.
Good job, guys.
Nice.
No.
Bomb has been planted.
Rush me.
Guys, I tell you, we kill them all.
Probably they won't have.
3 close.
Flash care.
Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win.
هدي ارحم والدك.
Pray.
لا طلاقي.
They will remember us after today. I'm throwing a flashbang. Throwing a flashbang.
2 close.
Flashbang. I'm throwing a flashbang. I'm throwing a grenade. Throwing smoke.
Side. Oh, knife.
Short one.
Throwing fire.
Long one.
Counter-terrorists win.
Come on, let's go. Be good.
Two cross only.
I'm throwing a flashbang. Smoke. I'm
Too bad. Let's go, orange clutch.
Counter-terrorists win.
Let's just echo one.
Okay, I'll echo guys, echo. Echo guys, echo.
Yeah,
Flashbang.
They come in. Right. It's right. It's a 1v4. Why are they hiding? What the fuck is this shit?
try hiding so much. Deagle 1v4.
Can be. Listen to me, can be.
Go with them guys, go.
And smoke. And smoke one.
Take a.
And smoke! Please, listen to me! I'm sorry, bro.
No one has bomb. Inside one.
What the?
Noise.
GG! GG, my friend.
Orange, best player in the game.
These fucking idiots, man.
It's a game.
Shoot.